This is April Ross with the April Ross Show, and today we have with us Brenda Rich, who is the creator of Single Mothers of Atlanta and also her producer. And your name is?
Winchell.
Winchell?
Winchell.
All right. And we're excited to have you all here today. And tell us, first of all, Brenda, what made you start this show?
Through my own struggle. That's what made me start the show, through my own struggle, trial and tribulation as a single mother.
Mm-hmm. And how did he get on board with you?
Well, you know, for a while, I just was, you know, going through the motions of coming up with ideas and things like that. And I kept it to myself for a while. And one day I just called him up and I was like, hey, cuz, it was about, what, 1 o'clock at night?
Yeah.
1 o'clock at night, 1 o'clock in the morning.
Uh-huh.
And I called him.
1 o'clock?
Yeah.
And you answer at 1 o'clock.
and I ran it by him. I said, cuz, you know, I want to do, you know, a reality show. You know what I'm saying? I've struggled as a single mother, you know, going through the motions. And he was like, oh, okay. Mm-hmm. And so I didn't think he was interested at first. So I'm like, we hung up the phone. You know how you want somebody to be excited with you? Like, oh, yeah, that's a good idea. Mm-hmm. He didn't give me that feeling. And 5 minutes later, he come calling me back. What you say?
I was asleep.
Well, and then you woke up after you had to process it.
I had to process it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So you got involved with it.
Yeah, most definitely. It was just then, we just been working together and just took off.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So did you all do like a casting call, or how did it evolve with the characters, with the cast?
We did a casting call. I don't even know how many that we casted that day, because it was a whole lot of people showed up. A whole lot of people came on their lunch breaks and didn't even make it to get in the door. That's how many people we had on the casting call.
Are you serious?
So, you know, everybody have a story in life, but we also looking for that story that is very, very touching and very relatable to the majority of society. Mm-hmm. But everybody walks of life is totally different. Mm-hmm. So we found the cast. You know, did a cast.
Okay.
You know, of course, it's 4 women and 1 guy, so you can imagine how that is. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
So Brenda, what do you think this story really needs to be told about single mothers? What the truth is behind it?
Oh yes, I definitely think that it is time for, I call our, you know, the single mothers their own community.
Okay.
Because it's been going on for decades. Mm-hmm. I mean, now it's like a sense of normalcy. You know, it's normal for you to say, the father, you're not married. You know, it's normal for you to go to your mom and say you're not pregnant, but you're not married. You know, our great-grandmothers, grandfathers, they could not come home and say that they were pregnant out of wedlock. Mm-hmm. They, you know, a lot of children got adopted and things like that, you know, back in the day. So now, in this new generation, it is time to speak up about it. It's not that we're honoring being a single mother, but it's about, you know, recognition and recognizing what we do, because a lot of men don't understand the struggle. Mm-hmm. You know, I don't care how much money you have, I don't care what type of house, car that you have, there is always a struggle raising children on your own. Mm-hmm. You know, and we didn't want to idolize women and bash the men, so we brought in a single father.
Now, how was that? How was he able to take this on? I mean, what made you to say, hey, let's just throw a mix in there and get a guy's point of view?
It was kind of ironic how that happened, because we were, you know, in production with another show with, you know, single fathers. But, you know, I went to Winchell and I said, you know, what do you think about adding him into the single mothers? Even though it's single mothers, we can add the guy in there for the twist, so it won't be a man bashing show. Mm-hmm. And so, you know, he thought it was a great idea. We wrote down some, you know, some scripts and some scenes and stuff, and we just went with it, and it worked all together because the guy is able to learn from the women, and the women are able to learn from the guy. So it kind of worked hand in hand, because he's a single father of 3 girls, like full custody.
Wow, full custody. Wow. Now tell us, now you've been taping.
Yes.
So how has that been, Winchell, when you're taping and you're going around these scenes with these young ladies? Are you like, oh wow, they have to go through so much?
Yeah, they go through so much.
How are they able to do it, huh? Juggling everything.
I'll be the only guy on set, so it definitely be some people hold back, some people let go. But it all depends on when you a person know what they sign up for when they sign up for it.
Okay.
You sign up to open your life up like an open book, and you want to tell the world, because everybody can't do that. Everybody want to hide stuff and not bring stuff out. But I mean, realness is realness.
But you know what we've learned is that even though they signed up for the show, they don't actually know how it's going to be until they're actually filming.
Okay.
So
because it's just real.
It's real. It's definitely real. So things that they buried over the years, or things that they just forgot about, it resurfaces itself. You know what I'm saying? It comes back to surface, and it's like now they're emotional and they remember the hurt. They remember the struggle. You know what I'm saying? 'Cause one thing I can say, as a single mother, a lot of times you can't address situations because you still have to work, you still have to take care of the kids, so you don't have time to break down in the corner and cry.
Right.
You don't even have, it's not that many hours in a day.
You gotta put them big girls panties on.
You definitely do.
You gotta do it.
Definitely.
And try to juggle it all to try to maintain some sanity into your home.
Yes.
So how is it, the ladies that working with them and the man?
I would say for myself, I see a lot of myself.
Do you?
A lot of my situations in my cast, even dealing with friendships, dealing with dealing with the absent parent. A lot of their stories I can relate to because I've lived it. That's another thing I can say that makes this reality show different. I've actually lived this life.
Wow.
This is not something that I said, let's
I got an idea.
Let's make some money. Reality shows are in. I actually walk the walk, talk the talk.
Wow. So you can really relate.
I can relate 100%. And I have more children than any of the cast. So I have 4.
Okay.
Yeah, everybody else has like 2 or 1 or 3,
And you're able to juggle 4 children.
Yes.
Single mom. And what are the age range?
My oldest is 13 all the way down to 4. So I have 13, 12.
I'm crying.
Yeah, 13, 12, 8, and 4. So.
So wow, you are really living it. Because how are you able, now you're a creator of a show, producer, how are you able to juggle all of that?
It's hard.
A support.
I can't say that it's not hard. I can't say it's easy because it's not. It's not easy at all because they look to me for guidance. They look to me for, to know the next move, especially when I have their life in my hand, their stories in my hand. So that's tough because a lot of people don't want to be represented in the wrong way, and we weren't friends before this, so they don't know what direction the show was going in. Everybody was thinking it was probably going to be ratchet, or you're going to try to, tell my business. So it's pretty rough, but that's why I have my producer, Winchell. He definitely makes sure that he backs me up and everything. I feel safe when he's around. When he's not with me, I feel like, so many people is coming at me. I'm like, and I have to get on the phone and tell him, like, listen, you need to be at everything. Because you're my shield. You're my protection during this. Because he's been with me since day one. So it's like I'm so used to him being, right there with me, So
is this your first stab at being a producer?
I have dealt with camera stuff, but as far as in producing reality shows, that was totally different. I didn't know, how some people, you have a niche that you discover.
Yes.
You didn't know you had it. That's the niche.
That was your niche.
Yeah, I didn't even know.
So when she called you and you decided, I'm gonna sign up for this with you, I'm in it for the long haul. Then when you got there, what were you like? You had to just get into your character, your role.
Well, I just follow suit like Spades. So I just follow suit. So basically, once we got to start filming and everything, we came with the game plan, start filming, and it just came real easy. So. It's been long days when we film for hours, and you got the bright light shining, and people complaining, and like, oh man, it's just hot, and it's so much you got to deal with. I didn't know. It's very interesting to me to see women, be around women for like 8 hours, just different personalities.
Really,
when you got women around each other with different personalities. Everybody got an ego. Everybody got an ego.
Everybody.
So that one person might look at another person, a certain way, and the other person might look at another person like you nice, and in the back of their head they be like, I don't like you, but at the end of the day, it's all love. It's all real. The only thing we just teach the captain is basically don't catch feelings with the conversation.
Oh, yeah. I like that.
Definitely.
Yeah. And you mentioned that you didn't want it to come off as being ratchet. Tell us about that.
Yes. Well, when I first came up with, when the vision came to me, it was more so because I went through it myself.
Okay.
And I would never want anybody to use my struggle, as a game to to make me look, less than a mother or a woman, especially with my children having to watch it, So when we start filming and all the attitudes start to flare up, and with the first cast, it was an argument. And I just had to put my foot down and say, no, this is not another what's already been seen. No, I want to be able to see the women. Yes, I have a problem with you, but I'm going to come to you like a woman and say, you know what? I didn't like what you said. I don't like how you said it. And you don't have to agree with me. But we can come down and we can sit down as women and come to some type of agreement, whether we hang together, whether we like each other after this conversation. We can sit down and talk about it without going to her saying one thing, without trying to hit you and call you all out your name. Because, I mean, what is that? I mean, it's irrelevant. We're grown. We don't even want our kids doing it. So why should we do it?
Exactly. So is this new for you, going into this area of creating a reality show?
Oh, yes.
Really?
It's new for me, but it's so easy for me as well.
Really? Because it's your story.
Yes. It's so natural for me because this is what I've lived. So I don't have to think about it. I don't have to wait. I just go full force, and bring forth the vision.
This is April Ross with the April Ross Show. We're here with Miss Corliss Kay, and she's one of the cast members of Single Mothers of Atlanta. How are you today?
I am fine. I'm glad to be here in LaGrange.
All right, and tell us, how did you get to be a part of this, or wanted to be a part of this?
Well, I do hair and makeup for the entertainment industry, so a lot of this type of stuff come across, castings for this reality show and that reality show. But when I actually seen Brenda's post, and it kind of hit home for me because I am a single mother. I only have one child, but I was engaged to her father, and it's like everybody has a story, but I feel like that's the one thing that people don't know about me, my story as a single mother. So when I seen the casting, I actually reached, I commented on it. I was like, gosh, I wish I would have seen this. I would have definitely went to the casting. And Brenda immediately said, like, send me your email or email me. And I emailed her, and I actually live in Columbus. I came all the way up for the casting, and pretty much everything was history after that. But I just really felt like my story somebody could relate to, because it is some mothers that is not getting that additional help, that financial support, that emotional support for your child, and we have a story that needs to be told. And
what makes your story so different from other single mothers, you think?
Well, number one, I'm willing to tell it. I'm transparent enough to tell it. And I mean, at this point, I don't look at it as being different. I'm kind of looking at it as a spokesperson for the people that can relate to me.
So you have one child.
One child.
And how is your relationship with the child's father?
Does
that portray does it come out in
It's very strange. Yes, it does come out. Yes.
So so what was his take on you? Because I'm sure his name would come.
Talk to him.
Haven't talked to him. So you're taking this on really as a single parent for real.
Yes. Absolutely.
So how are you able to have that relationship with your daughter or son?
My daughter.
Your daughter. And what do you tell her? Do you say negative things about her father? Or
absolutely. My daughter has her own cell phone. She has her own bank account, so he really don't even have to deal with me. So now it's a choice type situation, and I will tell her, have you called your dad? She'll say yay or nay. I'll say call him.
Okay.
He might not return the call. Yeah, it just...
So you try to make sure that she has that connection, that relationship with the child.
Absolutely.
So by you being in Columbus, and how are they able to reach out to you?
Well, because I do the hair and makeup, I'm in Atlanta a lot, working and stuff, and really just my relationships and stuff. I lived in Atlanta almost 7 years. I'm also in the military, and that's why I got sent to Fort Benning.
Okay.
So that's why I'm in Columbus. But a lot of my work, a lot of my friends are all in Atlanta.
So you're juggling a lot.
Absolutely.
So your hairstylist, do makeup,
in the
military.
I have a tax business. But I gotta do it.
You're doing your own.
Single mother.
So what made you say, hey, I gotta get up and do this? I gotta do this.
The reality show?
Yes, the reality show.
I mean, it's a story I want the world to know about me, as far as I'm juggling all these things, and I'm it can happen. You can do it, and that's what I want it to be, to come across. You really can do this. It's hard. I want them to see the struggle. I want them to see that, he's choosing not to be there, and you can do it.
And
You
how
can
old
do
is your
it.
daughter?
She's 5.
She's 5. And how are you able to juggle those 3 jobs and able to?
Ooh, I mean, it's
get her what
difficult,
she
and
needs.
she's in extracurricular activities.
Oh,
I mean,
my.
it's very difficult, but I mean, I make it happen. I have my nanny here now, so I have a nanny,
Mm-hmm.
and she helps me out a lot. But I'm doing it. That's
Mm-hmm. You
all I
have
can
to
tell you.
when you're a
I'm
single
doing it.
mom. So how is your relationship with the castmates once you met them?
Oh, I mean, I didn't know anybody on the cast except
Okay.
for I know one girl that came on later, but I mean, it is what it is. You meet people, and you know, you form relationships with some you don't, but you know, everybody's cordial. We're not on I am not on terms where I wouldn't talk to anybody. I won't deal with anybody, but I try to be cordial. But you know, if it's a problem, I definitely would like to address it.
So as Miss Brenda had mentioned before, that she didn't want any ratchetness on this show. And were you able to say, going in and say, okay, this lady for real. She don't want no ratchetness. She wanted to be real. Being the person who you are, were you able to do that for her?
Oh, absolutely. I don't want that to come across because, as she stated before, our children will probably be watching this. And that's all what it's about. I don't want my daughter to not be able to watch it or not be proud to say, we're on this show and this is what we're doing. And it, you know, its reputation is a must as far as with me, a good one anyway.
Right.
And I'm going to be who I am or whatever, but when the cameras are following you, it's your reality is a little different because
Okay.
you get to see, look, I just went clean off on my child, this girl, whatever. So it's I mean, I can walk away and say that, you know, I didn't embarrass myself or my family.
So how do you discipline your daughter?
Different ways. I don't have to do much, but like tell her to sit down or whatever. I might increase my voice or whatever. Now, will she get a spanking? Yeah.
So are you concerned how viewers may perceive that? Because you know some people just want you to do time out.
Oh no. I wouldn't spank her on the show. I probably wouldn't. I mean,
Okay.
she has enough respect for me to know if this is business. Like with me doing so many jobs, my daughter is used to
Right.
me being busy.
Okay.
And she's been on the set of certain things, you know, and I'm like, sit down, have a seat. But I don't think she'll disrespect me enough where I would have to spank her on TV. Like I wouldn't do that to my creator and producer. You know what I'm saying? Because that could cause some controversy.
Was her father okay with? Did you have to discuss with him that you all are going to be on the show? Because I'm sure she may be seen in some of the scenes.
I discuss it for what with him?
Oh, he might say, you know, that's
And
my
you're not
daughter.
there?
Oh,
Oh, okay.
You know, he might say, hey, this is my daughter. You know now, when they get on TV and then he starts saying, that's my daughter.
Well, he has a chance that the show reached out to him.
Okay, and then he said, oh, well.
We'll see what he says.
'Cause when
I don't know.
Yeah, okay, yeah, because when it blows up,
I don't
you
know
know
what
how
he's
they'll
saying.
come running and saying, well, that's my daughter. And I don't want her to be on there, period. What would be your response?
Well, you would have to be in her life
Okay.
to make those decisions. And as of now, we don't have joint custody or anything like that. So
Anything.
he'll just have to deal with
Yeah,
it.
'cause then
it's not anything that's derogatory or
Right.
that, you know, demeaning to her or our relationship. I don't say bad things about him on the show. I mean, I just tell the truth. So if
Okay.
he doesn't like it, he needs to change.
And if it's bad, then really whose fault that is, huh?
Absolutely.
So is it anything that you want people to know about Corliss K?
I'd want them to definitely tune in. I want them to support the movement because it's a movement. We're just representations, but it's a movement right now as far as single mothers. I mean, it's just people are becoming single mothers. You know, you might started off married or whatever, but as of now, it's a movement, and I want everybody to support the movement. I want everybody to follow me on Facebook at Corliss The Best Is K. Instagram, Corliss K Hair Doing MUA, and Twitter, Corliss K's Way.
Okay, because you know I was a single parent just for a little while there until I got married, and at the time I was getting my degree. I was working a job, and my degree was at Alabama State University, but I lived in LaGrange, so I had to commute an hour and 15 minutes away from my child every day, and just going back to those days, it was so hard because then you had to think of who's gonna pick them up from school.
And my parents live almost 5 hours away.
Oh,
she
my
went
goodness.
with them like a little bit over the summer. She's a kindergartner, so
Okay.
she's just started school. But my schedule got so hectic, my parents was like, "Well, let her come here until she starts school." And so she went there, so that was a huge help.
Oh, my
but they're
goodness.
almost 5 hours away, so like I can't just say, Mom, I gotta go do this. Can you come get her? Because
Wow.
my parents work. They got small kids, so I mean it's just
You are really doing it. I don't. Woo!
that's what I always tell brother. I'm a single mother for
real. Because you
Single
don't even
mother
have
for-
mom and daddy there.
No family. I've never lived where my family's been since I graduated high school. Because I'm in the military, so I went off to basic training. After that, I went off to college. So I've been away from family and, friends I grew up with for long, for years. So, yes, I am.
Wow. Well, we're looking forward to it, Single Mothers of Atlanta. Corliss K, we have here, and we thank you for sitting down on
Thank
Maple
you
Law
so
Show.
much for having me.
Absolutely.
I really enjoyed it.